And GM Farcaster, we are back with breaking news that we couldn't quite figure out early enough. I happened to see that meme by Johnny that said, "Why did he leave?" And I didn't know who he was talking about. And my first thought was Vitalik, but I didn't get it confirmed before we went live earlier, and I kind of forgot about it. And then right after we stopped the stream, Adrienne's like, "Dan just casted something." I'm like, "What?" So I'm going to show that one more time. So Dan casted GM. Anything happen overnight?
And I immediately thought he was talking about channel passes. I'm like, surely something else is going on.
So apparently, this is what happened. This little note from Autism Capital, our friends from the SBF days. Vitalik needs to get back on X. Farcaster isn't going to win the culture war. If he wants Ethereum to shine, he should engage more on this platform, not sequester himself with his chosen peers on an island. He will have far more impact if he engages the bigger community here. And that got quite a lot of views. I don't know how I missed this, because you know why I missed this? You know why I missed this? I don't spend a lot of time on X anymore. I don't spend a lot of time on X anymore. And then Elon asked, why did he leave? And this, of course, spawned a lot of interesting answers. Here's the answer from Vitalik himself. This is part of why I do most of my tweeting on Farcaster these days. Sorry for ratioing. And he was replying to Vitalik Buterin has to append every reply with sorry for ratioing, because immediately afterwards, a deluge of sycophants, crypto bots, and followers rains down on the post with tickers, memes, and expressions of praise. And all the OP can see is ETH and Sol for 3 days. So that was, So that's a little bit of breaking news that we just didn't quite get to, because we didn't exactly know what was happening. I had seen the memes, but I hadn't seen the actual news. So, Adrienne, this is going to be an interesting day. I did like Johnny's take on this was one. I'm going to show the memes again. DWR on X, I'm in danger. And why did he leave? And then Peachy with our Peachai, he left because we get paid. Stop posting on Twitter. So I don't think, has Vitalik commented yet directly anywhere?
I've not seen.
I haven't seen anything.
Comment.
I haven't seen anything. So Vitalik, hey, if you happen to be around right now and you want to come on GM Farcaster, we'd love to have you. And tell us exactly why you apparently deleted your Twitter account overnight. So there's that.
What do you think of the original premise of like, I give up on
that he shouldn't leave Twitter?
Yeah, it's like
I think he should do whatever he wants to do. He's a human, Yeah. And I mean, he can, I get the point they're trying to make, but he doesn't have an obligation to anybody to be posting on any social media platform at all. There's how many other founders of Ethereum, and we don't even know them. So he's chosen to be out front, and besides Charles Hoskinson, who's now Cardano. But anyway, he's chosen to be really out front and be sort of the spokesperson for Ethereum, but that doesn't mean he has an obligation to post anywhere. So it's interesting. This is definitely an interesting development. Also, he does have 180,000 followers on, he's one of the biggest followed person on Warpcast. I will say that. But of course, his reach on Twitter is much larger. But to his point, that reach sometimes is reaching very low quality accounts and not necessarily who he wants to reach anyway. So what do you think? I'm trying to look him up to see if he's... I still see him though. He didn't really leave.
No, he didn't leave. He just doesn't. He stopped. I think he stopped.
He just stopped
casting on X.
But he's still on X. I mean, he's still
Ted
there.
says that, by the way. Ted says that. She's like, when she, you know how we used to say, like, we tweet on Farcaster and then it's now we cast on X.
On X.
I
love that.
I think also the whole premise that there's a culture war that we need to be fighting. I don't get the sense Vitalik is fighting a culture war. No, I think he's
not at
building.
all.
I think he's building a.
He's the computer, not the casino. But I saw him. He casted something 4 days ago, so I think it's just that. I think that Autism Capital brought attention to it. That he isn't casting. He isn't tweeting as much as he's casting, and he's casting things that are a little bit more high signal. I think it's just because Elon noticed this morning that's why we're getting this notification. So he didn't even leave. He didn't leave Twitter. He's still there.
The reason this is news is because Elon engaged and said, why did he leave? And then he got bombarded with, the 100 Farcasters that are on Twitter saying Farcaster. He left because of Farcaster.
So it's more like, is DWR going to get thrown Farcaster later today is the question. So at 4, it looks like 4 a.m. this morning is when Elon said, why did he leave? And then got the responses. And so it's not that he's not still on Twitter. He is, and he will, I'm sure, cast there when, he wants to, but also I don't think he has an obligation to do either. I think we're lucky that he casts anywhere or tweets anywhere. So there you go. But what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, look, I'm not interested in culture wars, but I am interested in memers, and just immediately everyone on Farcaster is going to make memes about this. Like nothing actually changed over the last, except that we brought attention to that Vitalik is on Farcaster. So I think the meme channel will be super fun today. There is a why did he leave channel. So someone
did that just pop up?
Obviously, it's like there's no way. It was great. There's a new channel. Let's look in. And
I'd bring it up, but I'm having some issues because I think that Farcaster may be getting overwhelmed at the moment. At least for me. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So there's a why did he leave /WDHL channel. Just 44 people in it. Funny. It's new, but just the fact that someone's going to spend 2,500 warps immediately to create a channel so we can all focus our combined energy in one place is fantastic.
It is fantastic. I love it. I love it. This is so funny. This is so funny to me. But I think this is the first time that Elon has acknowledged or has maybe made really aware of Farcaster. So that's interesting and also maybe a bit concerning. It's kind of easier
Dan,
to fly.
how you doing? How's
under the radar? Yeah. So Dan, how you doing?
Feeling, is this, you made it?
How you feeling about this?
You want to come on the stream? Hit me up.
We're so back.
We'll invite you. We're so back. I remember last year, I think at some point, when Elon followed Elon followed Dan on Twitter, and then Elon casted. Dan casted that, and it was.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I figured he was following him anyway, just because there's similar circles there and connections there. I'm sure within Silicon Valley, or overlap. But I do see Vitalik replying a lot and engaging a lot, and it's not all about Ethereum. I'm just looking through his replies right now. So he is definitely active on Warpcast, where he is not on Twitter anymore. He's just not active. He still casts there. He still has an account, but he didn't really leave. So just to clarify, he's still there. You can still follow Vitalik on Twitter if you want to, but if you actually want to engage with him and have conversations and have interesting, interactions, I would recommend jumping on Warpcast. So, and that's that. So we'll be looking forward to the other memes today. That'll be fun. And I'm going to append this little mini breaking news recording. I don't know. Should I do it as a separate? Maybe it's its own thing. I don't know.
It gives us, we need 4 more episodes to get to 100 before FarCon.
I don't think this counts. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. I think I might just drop this as a separate thing. So it can live as its own breaking news. I really need this. I need to figure out
this is our first, but I will say this is our first breaking news episode of GM Farcaster.
It is. It's the first time we've done this, like, hey, should we just go right back on? And then I couldn't figure out exactly how to do that.
Presented by Pinata. Pinata, you get a bonus episode.
Pinata, yes, you got a bonus today, just because we happen to just jump back on. But anyway, we'll be looking forward to more memes and jumping into the Why Did He Leave channel. And maybe Vitalik will jump in there.
What's your X activity these days?
Oh my God. I showed my screenshot at one point. It is dramatic. And I'll look for it again today from like last week and just show you that it's dramatic, the shift that I've had. And if I go back a year ago, it's almost the inverse. So it's incredible, the change. So I don't tweet that often there. I will look there usually once a day just to see what's going on. Or somebody sends me something, but I'm hardly there anymore. Comparatively. And I was constantly on Twitter for the year prior to that, or 2 years prior to that. So Dan had asked not too long ago who's flipped their Twitter following, and mine flipped right. I think it was right after we went permissionless. But I have about 5,000 ish followers on Twitter, and now I have like 4x that on Warpcast, or close to 4x, probably 3.5x. So yeah,
spending very little time. I mean, I was on my Twitter crowd was more of my tech, like not a crypto, was more of my DevOps tech crowd, and they all left. They're not.
Where are they?
They've moved on elsewhere.
Okay.
They've moved elsewhere. I think they're on LinkedIn. Primarily. They first went to Mastodon. I mean, they could be on Mastodon as well, but they first went to Mastodon. I'm seeing a lot of like LinkedIn activity, and I just can't. I can't engage there. I can't do LinkedIn.
I like, you know how many times I've been tempted to just delete my LinkedIn, and I'm like, why do I even have this? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. But that's a whole other conversation.
But yeah, so they're there. So I don't get. Yeah. And then I was using it for news.
Yeah, that's it.
And
so I usually look there for when Ethereum's down and Bitcoin is down or something. I'm like, and if I can't figure out why, I'll be like, why is this down? Or I'll search what's trending just to see what's going on. But I don't really do much there anymore. Occasionally Spaces.
So I'm not getting my tech. Yeah. So I'm not getting my tech community. And then the algorithm is pushing me, honestly, just trying to push entertainment. Yeah. Not news to me, like not things I'm not interested in it. So I don't go there.
Yeah.
So guess where I'm spending my time.
Yeah. Why did we leave? That's why we left, but we didn't really leave.
Oh yeah. Because I assumed Elon was talking about us.
Yeah. You were talking about, so Elon, we just wanted to let you know.
That's why we left.
You know, it's not about you. It's not really like it's not really about you. We just like Farcaster better. So, sorry, Elon. You wanted to know why we left. There you go. But it's just a much more fulfilling. I don't know what's the right word here. It's just a better experience. So it's where my friends are now.
So
my friends are here.
We can't speak. Remember, we had Polluter of Minds on, and he described what his name was. He kind of talked about you have the ability to enter into people's minds and this. So my mind was getting polluted. It felt toxic.
Yeah. It can get very toxic. And I really did tailor my feed on Twitter pretty well, so that I really only saw, for the most part, on that particular account, just crypto stuff. So it is a pretty good crypto feed, but honestly, that's been like what Vitalik was saying, like you post something and then or you see a post and half the replies are just spam, bots, scams, just nothing really substantive.
So aside from looking forward to memes today, Do you expect there to be another influx from crypto Twitter?
I
signing
100%.
up for Farcaster
I think
today?
I think you've got two things happening at once. You've got that attention that just got put onto Farcaster from Elon, of all people. And then you have DGen up. So those two things, I have no doubt we're about to see an influx of folks. Or more likely, those who already have an account but haven't been paying attention are probably going to pay attention again and come on over and be like, what's going on over here? Yeah. And I did see that from a couple people on Friday that they realized who hadn't claimed their airdrop, one in particular. And, like then shouting it out on Twitter about, because they claimed their airdrop and we're all like, oh my God, it's $35,000. And, so then that becomes a whole thing. But luckily with channel passes and all the new algo stuff,
activated.
Casino is going to get activated big time in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Casino is activated big time. And then, but also you've got the computer being activated by Vitalik. So you've got both happening at once. So why not both? Right.
And after Dan casted, did anything happen last night? He also casted 5 weeks till FarCon.
I know. So excited.
So just channel your energy towards.
Yeah. Channel your energy towards good. But also congrats to DGen because, hey.
Our chat is, by the way, the chat is having great fun at LinkedIn.
Oh, they are? I am not going back to LinkedIn. Why did she leave LinkedIn? I swear to God, every time I get a notification about somebody trying to connect with me on there, I go, why do I even have this? But most of the time it's students too, who are, we always push them to get on LinkedIn because they're looking for jobs. So it makes sense. But every time I'm like, why do I still just have this account? Why don't I just get rid of it? I never look at it. It's just notifications in my inbox. That's it. But anyway.
Totally off topic, right?
Totally off topic
from Twitter and Vitalik.
I didn't miss anybody in the chat.
I wrote a blog. I published a blog post last night about my journey from the corporate world to GM Farcaster.
I haven't had a chance to read it, but I loved the what I was like, the little blurb I saw. I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
It's just the idea of kind of chasing autonomy and more freedom. Yes. But I tell myself I could still go back. I could go.
Yeah,
back.
you can. You can always go back. But this
moment, I can't give up.
But you can't. By the way, I'm screenshotting the chat to make sure I don't miss anybody when I go to tag, because it starts to bump the old messages in the chat, and I'm like, now that we have more activity, I'm like, oh crap, I got to crap to everybody. So Grace and Brian.
Brian, I want the ability just to right-click save chat. Thank you. Please
thank you. Yes, that's what I was going to say.
As an NFT. Thank you. Please
and I also, as an NFT, and also, I would like to be able to just like very quickly have a list of everybody who was in the chat today. Like, boom, like that.
Prof checking DGen price. That's what you were doing.
Just one second. Check it. Last time I checked, it was like 0.014 or something, but it's probably up to 0.02 or something now. I have no idea. I haven't looked at this morning. No, me trying to unlock the DGen that's stuck in the safe. That's what I was trying to do yesterday. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? It's really time. I'm really going to get that out of the safe. Anyway, all right. We're going to call it there. Right. Thank you for jumping back on for breaking news. Elon, which the news really is, Elon just found out about Farcaster. Like that's pretty much what just happened this morning. So we will see you all on Wednesday. I don't know why I said Monday earlier. We'll be back on Wednesday, and then we'll be back again on Thursday. So we will see you then. And with that, bye-bye.